mother vessel. The mother vessel, of course, now take it outside the country. That one, to answer your question, you cannot rule out, the connivance of foreigners, because these vessels may not belong to Nigeria, and if they belong to Nigeria, the point of sale is not locally. Another set of theft is the one that has the connivance, serious connivance of security agencies. You obtain the form duly signed to load. But what is on that form actually is meant for you to load black oil or the sludge. But you now go to where they are loading and you present it. That's why I said there's a conniver, and they now load them with crude. Whereas the authorities issued it to load black oil or the sludge. So these are the various sets of or stages of stealing.
We seem to understand, you've talked about the process, you've talked about the different types of thieves, you've explained what is involved in most processes of stealing. What exactly is holding us back from being able to, clamp down if we understand the process so well?
Well, like I started when you asked your first question, the first thing is determination. These are Nigerian communities. Nigerians are supposed to be manning some of these points. So if we have the determination, we can handle it. The second issue is whether those who are responsible to pursue these thieves are equipped to do so. Because let's take a case of armed robbery. A policeman who is going to fight an armed robber has a pistol, and the armed robber has an AK-47. Of course, the policeman will first want to protect his life. So the issue is that our security agency is fully equipped. Third issue, maybe I say this from my background, is are the persons motivated? Because if you are doing any job for which you are not motivated, you may not necessarily want to risk your life. If I know that if I go on this attack and I lose my life, and nobody's going to there's no provision on how to even take my corpse away, let alone take care of my family, of course I will be withdrawn. So we have the issue of the people, whether they're motivated enough, are they equipped enough, are they determined? Then what are the legislatures? Are people being properly prosecuted when they're arrested?
For some, if you allow me come in here, they say, well, oil theft, as you rightly put it, is nothing new to Nigeria or Nigerians, but what is new is the volume that is being stolen daily. It has actually increased. If you look at a publication by a daily here in the country, it says that a senior military officer attached to the Joint Task Force was recently transferred from Delta State to Rivers State, has accused politicians and monarchs as those behind some of the theft in the region. So if anything if we're to take his word seriously, it means we have so many big people involved in all of this. So it's not about seriousness, perhaps, maybe it's about the influence of some people who try to scuttle what the government is trying to do.
Yeah. I would not want to take it that anybody is above the law. That's why I talk about prosecution. Nobody is above the law. So if myself as a politician is involved and I'm caught or is linked to me, why not prosecute me? The way you talk about the volume, like I said, this market has grown over the years. And again, that goes to legislation. When you are not prosecuting people, of course, more persons have the tendency of going into it. Because if I say that Suleiman is doing this bunkering, and in the past 2 years, we started at the same level, today it's far up there, and I'm not there. I could be lured into it.
And nothing has happened to me.
And nothing is happening to Suleiman. But if I know that Suleiman who went into it the other day is already in jail or is facing some consequences, of course, mine will be to withdraw. So it has nothing to do. But again, look, it's easy to point fingers at politicians. I'm not holding brief for anybody. But I will tell you, let's look at how many years has this country been under political administration, that these so-called politicians, from 1979 to date. Bunkering, like I said, I met it. I left secondary school and I heard the word of bunkering. So it has started from the 70s, if not possibly immediately after the war in 1970. The bunkering has been on, and this is not by politicians. How many politicians like to do? I don't know what I mean. How to losing a valve head.
No, but you know, they don't have to know how to do these things. The thing is, as Suleiman pointed out, it's not the phenomenon itself, but the volume. It would seem that it's reached astronomical levels. We're losing so much money, so much so that, remember that when the 2013 budget had to be amended, you know, one of the things that the minister raised is that we're having a shortfall, not because the price of crude has fallen, but because we're not realizing as much as we should be able to export, owing to crude oil theft.
Okay, yes, that is the truth. But between me and you, how many top Nigerians, be they in the military, be they politicians, have been tried for oil theft and possibly jailed?
Have they even been caught in the first place?
Okay, and now why are they not caught? Are we not seeing them?
That's the question we should be asking, because Chamberlain, sorry to cut you there, because we also had JTF and loads of security operatives around our waterways and such creeks on a daily basis. So how come these happen to the extent that, well, that huge volume we talked about will be taken out of the country without any alarm going off to say that something as heinous as this is happening?
You see, you cannot remove the issue of connival. I mentioned it earlier. You can't remove the issue of connival. If we say our security agencies are totally out of it, then we may be deceiving ourselves as a country. So if I will go back to the issue of prosecution, if both those who are conniving, those who are directly involved, all of these circle, because it's a circle, up to those who even go to open the valve, those who are lifting it, those who have the baby vessels, those who have the mother vessel, whether they're foreigners or Nigerians, are brought to trial. Do it once and twice, and we'll see that there will be a lot of withdrawal. Well, but for as long as we close our eyes to them, we close our eyes to the security people who are conniving, we close our eyes to those who are lifting, we close our eyes to even neighboring countries to where this crude is being sent to, then it will continue to thrive.
There are so many perspectives and twists to this, because, I mean, in most cases, this is a well-organized crime.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the way, we'll cover some of these places, when you see the way they fabricate the equipment they use, they know when crude is being pumped.
Okay, sorry, let me cut you short there. If there's no connival, because there must be somebody telling them that we're going to pump crude from time A to time B. There must be somebody leaking that information. Now, because if the fellow is sleeping in his bedroom and you start pumping at, say, 1 p.m. in the afternoon, there is no way he's going to know. But if you give a prior information that there's likelihood that we'll pump crude today between our days and our days, then he gets all his facilities stationed. And when you start pumping, of course, with the GSM these days, it's easy. Say, look, we're moving now. In the next 10 minutes, they will start pumping. And the guy will just give them a little time. And like I said, some of them are even former workers of these oil companies who understand these rules and the pipelines and where the valves are.
You find yourself dealing with, I hate to use the word, but it seems you're dealing with a cabal.
That is the right word, whether you hate to use it or not. The word is a cabal. It's more than a cult.
But there's something that the states can do in this case. Let's even start from the Niger Delta states or the oil-producing states. Because, I mean, this has been on for God knows how long. What's wrong if we see them distribute vehicles, in most cases to police? Couldn't they have just thought, let's see how much we can do, because they can't do everything. The federal government has to take the lead in this one. What is wrong with the states coming together, putting in place some sort of security measure? First of all, study this whole matter, see what you can do about it, because if they leave it to everyone, look at where we are today. Okay,
you see, that is again where we have a challenge as a country. Who controls the security agencies? They are not under the state governors, so you cannot hold the governors responsible. But let me now speak for Delta State at this point. What we can do as a state to curb it, we are doing. We are assisting the security agencies with vehicles, like you just said. We're assisting the Navy with repairs of their boats. Of course, just this last week, we've asked them to bring the estimates for repair of their vehicle,